here we go.
So last we were speaking about Ketu, and I forgot to speak a little bit about Rahu, and to show how Rahu is different from Ketu. So it's easy when you use this guna list, guna table. Ketu and Rahu are both tamasic, yes, but where Ketu hates the Rajasic planets, Rahu loves them. So Rahu with Venus and Rahu with Mercury can be quite good yogas materially. They have their concerns, yes. Rahu with Venus is like Venus being trapped by Rahu, all right? And Rahu with Mercury it can be a never-ending court case, okay? But Rahu prefers them. He prefers them, and instead, he hates the Sattvic planets. So Rahu will eclipse the sun, he will also try to ruin the moon, and he will cause a very severe Asura Yoga or Rakshasa Yoga with Jupiter. More appropriately, Rakshasa Yoga is the right term. Okay? He behaves very similarly as Ketu with Saturn and Mars. So if Rahu is with Saturn, it's also some type of Shraddha Yoga. Only we call it Preta Shraddha. That's the term we use. Now with Mars, we call it Kuja Stambhana. It's more appropriate to do so. Yes, there are some similar traits, some Pishacha traits we call it with Mars and Rahu, but it's more appropriate to say Kuja Stambhana because Mars does get restricted significantly by Rahu. All right? So there's just a reversal in the Raja Sattva list as far as Rahu's attitude is concerned. Rahu with Mercury and Venus can be very good yogas materially. They can be. But the general idea is Rahu is after the Sattvic planets and he's blessed with the Rajasic. Ketu hates the Rajasic planets and loves the Sattvic. So that is the reversal that we have. Once you remember that context, it's easy to understand the conjunctions. Very easy. Then you just have to get to know each individual one.
So Visti, you mean to say that when the eclipses happen, so with the Ketu, moon and sun, there's a difference between the Rahu, moon and sun conjunction or with Ketu, like eclipse?
Absolutely. Like we mentioned, Ketu loves the sun and moon. He loves them.
Right.
All right? Because
so
finally he's getting ahead.
Would be less, you mean to say?
It's not negative necessarily.
Okay.
All right? It can be very positive in the birth chart of a person with this eclipse. Yes, very positive. Okay? Because what Ketu is doing is saying, finally I get ahead. It's Ganesha who gets the head.
Okay.
What a blessing. All right? Beautiful chart when Ketu gets the head. Okay?
Right.
Yeah. You can compare and say, Rahu is looking to get his body back and Ketu is looking to get his head back. So Rahu wants the Rajasic planets to get his body so he can start keeping some of the food he's eating and tasting. And Ketu says, all this food is coming into my body, but I'm not tasting anything because I have no head. I need a head, Sattva Guna. The Sattva is up here then, and the Rajas is in the body. So this is what the nodes are looking for. Easy, right? So straightforward. Yes. So that's how we read this. So now we've covered this. I'm not detailing Rahu's conjunctions with each planet individually, but you will get the idea if you study the yogas. And just don't get, one thing I recommend students of astrology is don't get carried away by what yoga of the planets are there. Not only that, because there is a yoga, yes, some planet is conjoined, but that yoga has different connotations depending on which houses are involved, at least which houses are involved, that you first have to catch. Okay? Am I going to be blind and say that everybody with, let's say, a Ketu Venus yoga or Ketu Mercury yoga is in trouble? No. Let me see the chart first. Maybe the person is super wealthy because of that yoga. Okay? Like somebody like Mukesh Ambani who has got Ketu Mercury yoga, and he figured out a way, all right, how to ensure that that we get out of taxes. So he breaks his businesses up into several small businesses all over the place, and people don't know how to tax him because of that. Ketu Mercury yoga, right?
Right.
So somebody has found a means of bifurcating many businesses instead of having one big one. consolidating everything. Ketu Mercury. Now that's maybe some people say, well, cheating the taxman is not considered that dharmic. I agree, it's not. But another person may be doing research and finding out that if they're doing it alone, it's a problem. So they'll have many researchers, Ketu Mercury Yoga, doing different types of research. You know, Ketu likes to divide by 60. So 60 parts can be there of different small things. And that means they're using this to their advantage. They're using Ketu Mercury to their advantage. So we have to make sure we're reading the chart correctly. Don't get carried away by the yoga. You see an Arakshasa yoga and you say, oh, it's bad. How do you know that person themselves is not the Rakshasa? Then it's good for them. So why are you talking about it being bad if they are the Rakshasa? All right? It's only bad for you because you've met a Rakshasa. Right? You have to know who's who. What's what? What's up and down in the universe. Houses are the beginning of that. Don't get carried away with yogas alone. Then you're not doing Jyotish, we say. All right?
No, we get that, but we get those kind of questions, you know, when people are asking, we have this yoga in our chart. So I think it's a disclaimer, actually, you know, that don't just follow one rule or one conjunction.
Yeah. Okay. Jyotish is not black and white. It's mostly gray. Yeah. All right. Now, at this stage, we are moving into the more spiritual aspects of Ketu. You thought we were doing spirituality up until now. Now we're doing spirituality. Okay? Yes. Real spirituality. So, Ketu with planets in the Navamsha. Worship. Which worship opens the door to spirituality? You know, now we are going to follow what the rishis have been doing, what the saints are doing. Because with this, we will know how to open the door to God. Okay? Ketu is like the kilaka. He has the key. He can do utkilana for you if you follow him. So, now, again, this is Ketu conjunction, but now I'm getting into Devata, right? So here we see, if Sun is with Ketu, Jaimini and Parashara both state that it is called Shiva Bhakti. All right? If Ketu is with Moon, Gauri Bhakti. Again, this is in Navamsha. All right? If Guru is with Ketu, it is also Shiva Bhakti. Now, in our tradition, we make a note, Sadashiva. Samba Sadashiva. If Mercury is with Ketu, Vishnu Bhakti is advised. If Venus is with Ketu, Lakshmi Bhakti. You could say Devi Bhakti in general. All right? If Saturn is with Ketu, again Vishnu Bhakti, we add Narayan to be more appropriate. If Mangal is with Ketu, Ganesha or Skanda Bhakti is advised. So we're going to use this information now. We have the Devatas here. We're going to use this. To begin with, I'll say, if you have the yoga of Ketu with a planet in Navamsha, then you should worship that Devata. If Ketu is alone, see the Lord of the sign. Okay? When you have doubts, which form, choose the one you like. All right? Now, so here's the chart of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. So he's a Paramahamsa. So therefore, who better to learn from than such a great soul? What did he do to achieve his spiritual potential? All right? We say he is one of the most spiritual people that have ever lived in India. One of the most spiritual. How is this? In his chart, this is his Navamsha. See, this is Navamsha. Ketu is with Mangal. So if we go back to the previous list, we would have learned Ketu with Mangal implies Ganesha or Skanda Bhakti. Now, I'm not giving you an easy example, however. You see, Mangal is in Karka and Chandra is in Mesha. Therefore, they're in Parivartana. They're exchanging signs. So we thought Mangal was with Ketu, but I will just rub this Mangal out and remove the A and put an O and remove the O and put an A. So now it's Mangal over here and Chandra over here. So if we go back to the previous list, we're supposed to read Gauri Bhakti. His entire focus was Devi. Entire focus. He was working in a Bhavatarini temple And there he was worshipping Kali and Tara. He was learning different practices, and in each practice he was imitating the Divine Mother's worship so that he could get the result of the worship. So his entire spiritual growth is happening through Devi. See this parivartana. So lest you thought it was easy, make sure you check these small things, right? Devi Bhakti for him. Let's try another example. Prabhupada. This is his Navamsha.
It was the D1 chart, not the D9, right?
Oh, this is D9, right? We're seeing D9? Yes. We're seeing D9? Yes. So, Navamsha. So in this case,
no, yeah,
we are
sorry. I thought it's Paramahamsa. I read it as Paramahamsa. Sorry, yeah.
You got it, yeah. So Prabhupada. Now in his chart, in his Navamsha, notice I don't need to know the Lagna here, right?
Yeah.
I just need to know Ketu. So Ketu is here with Buddha and Shani and Guru. All right? Now, what am I supposed to do? Is there any parivartana? Buddha and Mangal are having exchange here. Okay? Exchange of signs. So I'm supposed to read it as, remove this Buddha, put Mangal and Ketu and Shani and Guru. Okay? So these are the ones. Now, when you have such a situation, take the weakest planet, not the strongest. So who among these Mangal, Ketu, Shani, Guru, I have to choose. Ketu's conjoin them. So Mangal, Shani, Guru. Who among Mangal, Shani, and Guru are weakest? Shani is Nietzsche. All right. Then we'll go back to the recent list and we'll see it says Narayan Bhakti. Okay. Narayan Bhakti. So he was worshipping Krishna all the time. That's Narayan, right? Vaishnava. So this is how it is working. Okay, great. So seemingly we caught some very big secret that the rishis and the saints are using, right? We've caught it. If we can imitate what they're doing for ourselves, then we will have the same amount of bhakti that they had. Okay? Because this made them who they were. Let's try one more here. Now, Ketu, this is Ramana Maharishi's chart. This is his Navamsha, the D9 chart. And in this chart, I see Ketu is here in Taurus, Vrishabh. All right? Now, this is loaded by Venus and the moon. There are no planets here. So now, yes, Taurus is the Multrikona of the moon. I never heard of moon, not any planet, not owning its Multrikona. Okay? So we say that moon also loads Taurus because of this. So I have to debate. Is he going to go to Shukra or is he going to go to Chandra? Shukra means Lakshmi. Chandra, we should refer to Gauri. And people will say, I never heard him doing any Devi worship. Maybe he did, but it was not that prominent as far as the rest of his study was concerned and worship was concerned. What do we do? Okay, he was actually deep into Shiva Bhakti. I understand. All right. He went to Arunachaleshwara after all, right? That is Shiva. So what do we do? So then, one thing we notice here, rider, okay? Among these two, Venus and Moon, at first glance, it doesn't seem as if one is stronger than the other, okay? Some people will argue it's Shukra has weak Digbala. I will not decide based on that. Now, but I do notice that this Chandra, it has this AK next to it, right? This AK. AK is Atmakaraka.
Yes.
The king of the chart. Absolute king of the chart. And the first king, his name is Shiva. Firstly, if Atmakaraka shows up, choose him. Don't be in doubt, choose him. Like straightforward, you just go Atma. Go straight to the Atmakaraka. So that's first step. Second, who is the king? The first king is Shiva. He is the first king because he gave all the aksharas to the world. That's why he's the first king. So therefore he is Shiva. So in his case, Shiva Bhakti leads to spirituality. Okay? So I think I've given a good amount of riders now. Parivartana, rider. If many planets, choose the weakest one. If you're in doubt, choose the Atmakaraka. And you should find the form. Okay? This is the way we'll go about it.
There is a lot of confusion here just because Venus is the lord of dispositional lord of Ketu, and moon is the Mool Trikona sign is Taurus. So there's a confusion.
Exactly. So here I'm showing Atmakaraka. All right?
Yes.
Now let's say it was not Atmakaraka. I would say, well,
I was coming to that.
Lakshmi or Gauri, choose one. Can't go wrong by going to the Devi, right?
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So if what did you say? Come again, please. If there is no Atmakaraka, it was not moon, which was Atmakaraka then?
So I'll say it must be one of the Devi Rupas. Right?
Devi Rupas, okay.
Yes, one of the Devi Rupas, either Lakshmi or Gauri. All right. So then I'll ask, which one does the person prefer? Okay. And who says that you should not go to both? Right? Either way, the bhakti will increase. Okay. Now, it was Atmakaraka, so Shiva. So, if we were to do it in our charts, I will say this. Okay, my Ketu is in Makara in the Navamsha, Capricorn. So that means now it's alone over there. And there's no Parivartana, no nothing. So, I will say, Acha, Visti should be performing Narayan Bhakti. Vishnu Narayan Bhakti. Okay? Where is your Ketu in your Navamsha?
Mine, I don't know.
You should check. All right? Then we know which Bhakti you should follow.
I will.
Okay. Now, so having covered this, now we've got the first step, the first Bhakti step. If you follow this path, you're following the paths that the saints did. So people who are asking how to increase my spirituality, how to improve my life spiritually, how to make myself more spiritual, this is the way.
Yeah.
This is the door opening. You open the door to God with this. Okay? This is not Ishta Devata. This is the opening of the door.
My Ketu is in Sagittarius. You asked me,
so is it alone? Oh, you found. Is it alone?
It's alone, yeah.
Shiva Bhakti. Shiva Bhakti. Yeah. Okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Pleasure. All right. So now we have touched this. And we now have to take one more step into this. Because now I have shown how to find the Bhakti. Finding the Bhakti is for everybody. Everybody should find their Bhakti, where they should go. And Jaimini and Parashara have been quite clear on this. In fact, when they described the different devatas, they were saying, Ketu Surya Bhyam, or Ketu Ravi Bhyam. Actually, they used, to be exact, Ravi Ketu Bhyam, Shiva Bhakti. Okay? Yes, Chandra Ketu Bhyam, Gauri Bhakti. And like that, they will go through all of them. Okay?
Right.
And so they were very clear. They said, hey, guys, everybody, look for Ketu, find your yoga with Ketu, and then find out the devata. And they were speaking of this in the Amsha or Karakamsha Adhyayas, both of them. So they were clear on this. Even Jaimini, who knew that Parashara had spoken on it, repeated it, showing how important it is. He said, no, repeat this, lest anybody forgets. This is supremely important. We must follow this.
Yes.
Hint, you want to increase your spirituality, find the devata to increase it with.
Right. So only Ketu is the planet which you feel can lead us to find the right, Lord to worship.
We are all lacking that head. We are only tails connected to this buloka through gravity.
Oh, great.
And once we get the head, we can rise up. Only then.
Says it all.
So Ketu is the one who gives us that.
Thank you.
That is our diksha. That's the path, the diksha. So now we can go a bit more advanced. Ketu and Kaivalyam. Everybody says Ketu is mokshakara, Ketu is mokshakara, Ketu is mokshakara. How do you know he'll give you moksha? How do you know? Now we'll figure out. So Parashara and Jaimini state that Ketu gives two types of Kaivalyam in the Navamsha. So again, only Navamsha. No other divisional chant. All right? But Visti, you said that there are 6 divisional charts where Ketu and Rahu have yoga, where you can get moksha through. So how come you're speaking of Navamsha now? Because those 6 other Vargas that I mentioned are always having Ketu Rahu yoga. But you didn't choose any one of them. Your choice as to which one you will choose is depending on the Navamsha first. Because the Navamsha is your Prarabdha karma. What karma you have available for yourself to deal with. That's why it is such an important divisional chart. That's why in the old days, at least Rashi Navamsha was drawn. Minimum. And when I say old days, in the last 100 years. 200 years, Rashi Navamsha Drekarma. 300 years, you add one more Varga. 400 years, add another Varga. As is our choice of our number of Vargas is becoming less and less. Now we're only doing Rashi chart nowadays. Okay? So Navamsha. All right? At least Navamsha, because then you will get the Prarabdha karma. You understand what karma is available right for us in this birth. If moksha is available for us now, in this birth, it will show up in the Navamsha. That's why Navamsha is so important. Okay. Now, they state there are two types of Kaivalya. Parashara says, if Ketu is in the 1st or 9th house, or in Aries or Sagittarius, it will give Kaivalya. Jaimini states, no, Ketu in 4th house or 12th house, or in Cancer or Pisces gives Kaivalya. So now we students are confused. Which one to follow? Or can we follow both? Tradition has clarified. Firstly, these houses are not seen from Lagna. Your body does not get moksha. It is your soul who gets moksha. So forget body, forget Navamsha Lagna. So we have to use something now. Instead, find the Atmakaraka in the Navamsha. Because the body, 1st house, cannot achieve it, but the soul can achieve moksha. If the body gets moksha, you're just dying. Then the soul continues without moksha. All right? Now.
Absolutely.
Exactly. 1st house and 9th house are related to enlightenment and not moksha. There is a difference. Okay? Atma Jnana will come in 1st and 9th from Karakamsha. Atma Jnana. 4th and 12th are specifically related to moksha, actual nirvana. And particularly, the 12th from Karakamsha is termed Jivana Muktamsha, according to Chandrakalanadi. So I did some research and I found the name, Jivana Muktamsha. Again, you don't need to die for this to happen. You can have this in this birth itself. Okay? Jivana Mukta. You can call it practice for the afterlife. Jivana Mukta. Right? Now, so we have these two groups now. The methodology. We want Ketu in 1st or 9th from Atmakaraka in Navamsha. Then you can get Atmajnana, enlightenment. You can. No promises. I cannot promise you now you'll get it. You can. There's a potential. Right? You can see how much we have reached so far. If we draw Prashna, then we can see, oh, if you die right now, will you get moksha? Or if you die right now, no, you're going to Naraka. Okay, we can see that right here and right now with Prashna. Okay? If the 4th or 12th from Atmakaraka have Ketu, lorded by Ketu, or the Lord conjoined Ketu, you can have moksha. Okay? Potential is there. All right. So, so we should figure out some charts, how they work. So let's do that. So we'll use the same charts we used earlier. Okay? Let's see if the big saints who you followed their bhakti got moksha. All right? And the first example I'm giving you of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. This is his Navamsha chart, the D9. And why I took his chart first? His Atmakaraka, according to the scheme of Charakarakas that my tradition teaches, Ashtakaraka, Charakaraka, has Rahu as his Atmakaraka. All right? Rahu as Atmakaraka. So from here, I should see the 1st house and 9th house to see if enlightenment is possible. Atma Jnana. Enlightenment is not moksha, remember. It's just enlightenment. So I see here that there's no Ketu here and there's no Ketu there. And the lord of this sign, neither of these lords are associated with Ketu. Okay. Then I will see the 4th and 12th, right? Now, the 4th house is Aries and the 12th house is Sagittarius. The 12th has Sun, its Lord Jupiter is over here. No moksha indicated from there. Now the 4th from this was, remember, Aries. And the Lord of this sign, Mars, is joined Ketu. Gotcha. moksha.
Moksha.
All right? Now, if you see the previous slide for a minute, Jaimini says, Ketu in 4th or 12th, or Cancer or Pisces. This is a careful hint. You see this? Cancer and Pisces. Now go back to the chart. He left his body in Ketu Mahadasha. Where is Ketu in which sign? Cancer.
Mhm. Right.
So the dasha may be related to Cancer or Pisces when the person achieves moksha. Or Ketu. Ketu, Cancer or Pisces. That dasha will bring it. Very cool. All right. All right. This is one of the solid cases. His 4th house from Atma Karaka is lorded by Mars. It is joined Ketu in Cancer, and he left his body in the dasha of a planet in Cancer, and that planet dasha was Ketu. Oh my goodness. Clear, super clear.
So clear.
All right? No doubt. So we can measure based on the time you leave. Then we're sure. All right? Then we're sure.
And also whether we're going to get the moksha or not. That is also.
Yeah. That we ascertained, and now we also ascertained when also.
When.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Let's try another one. Prabhupada. Okay. He also has Atma Karaka Rahu. So I'm really driving this Atma Karaka that can be Rahu with 8 Chara Karakas home here. You know, I'm
You're
really
going to
driving
get questions on this VISTI, why Rahu being included in the list of Karakas.
Yeah. Parashara says you can have Ashta Karaka. 8.
Yes,
After all, as Shiva Puran says, I'm going to quote Shiva Puran, that they're Ashta Bandhana. They're not Sapta Bandhana. They're Ashta. It's 8 bondages. So why are they not seen in the chart? We are Jyotishas after all, right? We should be able to see the Ashtabandha. So if somebody says they only have 7 Charakarakas, I say, Acha, you already overcame 1 bandha. Congratulations. Well, where did it go? We need 8.
Yes.
We need 8 to clarify what Shiva is trying to explain to us. So let's try the same thing with Prabhupada. So Atma Karaka is here in Tula, in Navamsha, Libra Navamsha. And we will start by covering the enlightenment part. Is this 1st house related to Ketu? There are no planet, no Ketu here. Lord Venus is over here, no Ketu. 9th from is Gemini. The Lord Mercury is joined Ketu in Aries. Remember I said 1st and 9th and Aries Sagittarius.
Yep.
So he has a super combination for enlightenment, Atma Jnana. He has it, okay? He does have it. Now, we should not rule out moksha, right? Let's try that. The 12th from is having moon and sun, and the Lord is the same Mercury joined this Ketu, and the 4th from is loaded by Saturn, the same one joined Ketu. My goodness, what a combination.
So clear.
He has a super combination. He can get Atma Jnana and Mukti both. Wow. So this is clarified over here. He left his body in Ketu Dasha, Mercury Antadasha. Both are over here with Ketu. Wow. Clear. Now somebody is going to ask, was this Atma Jnana or was it Mukti? You have to ask God about that. But I will say, because he has the potential for Mukti, given that the 12th from Karakamsha has its Lord Mercury joined Ketu, and the 4th from Karakamsha has its Lord Saturn joined Ketu, I would have no hesitation in saying this most likely was moksha. I would be sincerely thinking it was. Okay? At most, I could draw his Punya Chakra, the chart when he left his body, to get to clarify that. At most, I could do that, to be sure. But this is a very good hint. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. All right? Very recent teacher.
Yeah.
Great teacher. This is his Navamsha. Where is his Atma Karaka? He has Atma Karaka Sun in Sagittarius, joined Rahu. Okay? Now, the 12th Lord, no, I'm sorry, we're not supposed to start with 12th, right? We're supposed to start with 1st and 9th. 1st house is Sagittarius. Wait, that was one of them, right?
Right.
Could Could be. But I'm going to now argue that not everybody with their Atma Karaka in Sagittarius is enlightened. So I don't want to accept that. Ketu must be involved. Okay. The 9th house, the lord of this Jupiter is not associated with Ketu. The 9th therefrom is Leo. Saturn is there, but the Lord's Sun, no link to Ketu. Instead is joined Rahu. So no go so far. 12th therefrom is Scorpio. Now Scorpio is lorded by Ketu. The 4th therefrom is Pisces. Some of us say that Pisces is also lorded by Ketu. Okay?
Yes.
So this Ketu over here could give it. But I would be in doubt because that means Sagittarius Karakamsha has a really strong potential towards Mokshi just because the lords of the 12th and 4th are by Ketu. Very strong potential. Now, what do we know? He left his body during Saturn Dasha, Moon Anta Dasha. Now Moon is joined Ketu in his chart. Okay, he got it.
Yep.
Now I'm sure. Okay, otherwise I would be in doubt. All right. But this may be the reason why Parashara states that this Sagittarius and Aries are very strong to give mukti. Why? Because if the Karakamsha is in Sagittarius, the 12th lord is either Ketu or the 4th lord is Ketu as well. You see that? If it is Aries, which is the Karakamsha, Atma Karaka Namamsha, the 12th is Pisces and the 4th is Cancer. Straight shot. See what I'm saying? So maybe that's what Parashara was hinting at for moksha. Although we also have these Atma Gyan Sutras as well. Okay. But we see, because of the time he left, it makes sense. Yes, moksha is there. What worship do you think he was doing? Which bhakti did he have?
Moon is God. I forgot.
Gauri, yes. Devi we will say, right? Gauri, yes. Yes, the term is Gauri. But why should I restrict? Any Mahavidya? Okay. Any Rupa or Parvati? Okay. Why restrict? Somebody says, Visti, I'm Christian. I said, Mother Mary, please go for it. All right? Don't restrict. Yes. They say, no, I'm Muslim. Say, do the Fatima every day. Fatima. Absolutely. Must do the Fatima. Okay? So no restriction there. But then people ask, but I thought he was just meditating all the time. He used to perform a meditation using the Shri Yantra, and he had a ruby Shri Yantra.
Who is it?
See that? Yeah. See the moon over there? Shri Yantra. Yeah. Because from there he could derive all the bijas for meditation for his students. Yeah. The bijas are given by the Divine Mother. She's the first. She gives all the sounds. Right? Shiva gave all these aksharas, but Devi, you have to ask for the mantras. Okay? So mantra matrike. All right. Let's try another chart. Now this chart I wanted to bring up because I wanted to give some hope for astrologers like me. William Lilly, he is considered the most famous, at least in my opinion, the biggest and most famous and having the biggest impact on Western astrology. Most biggest impact. All right? I really respect this man. He is no longer. He was living in the 1600s, but there's still a plaque in London containing the name William Lilly, Master Astrologer. All right, that's how well respected he was. No other astrologer has been given that respect in the UK, as much as he has. That's how good he was. Okay. They said he would do prashnas about everything and predict the outcome of wars. Like we have a B.V. Raman who did so for Second World War, right? William Lilly was there for the Civil War in the UK at the time. All right, big impact. You read his books, you say, "Wow, this is astrology." Get the book, William Lilly, Christian Astrology. It's called. People think Christianity doesn't have astrology. It has astrology. All right.
Okay.
Get it. You'll start changing your views about so many religions after that. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Now, he talks about which planets or which angels and how to see all that.
Okay.
Great. So, by the way, why is he such a good astrologer? He must have some very powerful Agni Grahas and trines to his Navamsha, because that's his skill, right? So he has Mangal and Ketu over here, 9th from Navamsha Lagna. He must be really good at astrology. This gives up somebody who's really good at mathematics and calculations and numbers. Big part of astrology, right? Big part of it. And you need high fire to be able to see, light, fire, seeing, okay? That's Agni. All right. He was also deeply interested in alchemy. Back then, alchemy was like today's, what can we say, a mix of Ayurveda and spirituality, all right? A mix of that, yeah. Yes. All right. Now, we need to understand where is he getting his, can he get moksha in this life? We have to figure that out, right? So, we notice here there is Atma Karaka's moon in Scorpio. All right. Now we see 1st and 9th. First Lord is Mars or Ketu, and they're over here in Virgo. So he has the Atma Jnana potential, enlightenment potential. And through which activity? Jyotish.
Yes.
So we're putting 2 and 2 together. He's doing astrology and he can get enlightenment through astrology. Wow. 9th house has Saturn, Lord is the moon. Moon does not have a direct link to Ketu. It's in Scorpio, but that's not enough. The 12th house is lorded by Venus, no planet there, not associated with Ketu. 4th house they're from is Aquarius, Saturn and Rahu are the lords, no planet there. None of them are directly associated with Ketu.
No.
So he has at most the chance of enlightenment. Let's see, did he get it? He left his body in Ketu Antardasha.
Okay.
There is hope for us yet. All right. So
Rahu being in Pisces is not going to help. No.
Not in Ketu Antardasha. Okay.
Okay.
I would have been looking for dashas of planets in Aries or Sagittarius or joint Ketu for enlightenment, because he only has the potential for enlightenment, not for moksha. And Rahu and Pisces, yes, you were mentioning it's 4th Lord in Pisces, right? 4th from moon in Pisces. But I need Ketu. I need Ketu. Yeah. Great. So we did it. We covered the Kaivalya Sutras. All right?
Wow.
Is this enough? You can see that there are some holes some places. There are some places which were holes. When you look at Maharishi's chart, all right? Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Then the astrologer will clarify if they have the Punya Chakra, the time of death. They'll draw a chart for that to see where's the soul going after this life. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, they'll do. Is the person still here? Are they a ghost? Have they already left?
Oh, really?
They've left. Where have they gone? Which loka? Yes, all that we will do. We can do with the Punya chart. The family comes. Are there some rites we have to do for the soul that has left? Have they left properly? Have they not left properly? Is something to be done for them? Which pujas to be done to help the soul that has left? Etc. We do all that. Punya chakra, death chart.
Okay. Oh, wow. I'm looking forward now. So this is done, I think, or we are left with something here.
We have just a few tidbits on different topics.
Okay. So we can we can stop here and start with another session.
Maybe we should just finish those 3 slides I have. They're very short.
Yeah, sure. Please continue, please.
So now we did that great topic, okay, big topic. And so I know that if I left this be, then people will ask me, but Visti, did you cover Ketu in houses? And I have done so very sparingly. All right. I admit this is a bigger topic, but I've done so very sparingly because I thought I have to say it, So people would like to know which is the best house for Ketu. It is 10th house. Absolutely. Okay. The 10th is the best because there he gets absolute digbala.
Wow.
Right? When you meet a person with a 10th house Ketu, you will see they have such a messy desk, but they work as fast and at the speed of 10 people at the same time. So fast. They work very fast and very efficiently. A person with 10,000 Ketu, you'll be surprised how much work they can produce in a lifetime. So much. They have the full blessing of Anantadev. Full blessing. Conversely, if Ketu is in 4th house, they're always troubled by Ketu. Because it's opposite Digbala. Instead, Ananta is cursing the person. All right? So Ketu in 10th, Ananta blessing. Ketu in 4th, Ananta cursing. These people need some help with remedies because Ananta is throwing his chakra at the person's head all the time. Day in and day out, they're being hit by the head of Anantadev. So
yeah,
they need a remedy.
Coming to that. Do these people need to do some remedies and get relief?
They should. They should. So let me see. Ketu, so that's Ketu, Lagna, Sun, Moon, Mars is the 5th graha. They should perform Narasingha mantra to protect themselves from Anantadev. Okay. So such people, worship of Narasingha is very good if Ketu is in 4th house. Okay.
So is it something related to the mother or something?
There will be difficulties with mother, yes. There are those issues, yes. Mother may not be healthy. You have to check from other perspectives, but mother may not be healthy. Okay. Right. There could be disturbances in the home. There could be a lot of, the person may be constantly nervous when they're living with somebody, whether their spouse or their family, because they have seen a lot of disturbances whilst living at home.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So they have a very bad impression of childhood. If another graha joins this Ketu, this can change to negative or positive depending on which planet. Okay? Like you don't want Shani or Mangal over here with Ketu.
So likewise, if Rahu is getting, Ketu is getting Digbali in the 10th, so Rahu is automatically getting Digbali in the 4th, right?
Actually, Rahu's Digbali is in 7th.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's what I want.
So they're not inclusive of each other in this case. All right?
Great.
Yes. Now, some people say that Ketu is Marana Karaksthan. You see, we do the absolute bhava basics, first Digbala, then Marana Karaka Sthana, bhava sthanas. So some people say that Ketu in 2nd is Marana Karaksthan. This is like imploring the giver of moksha to be your accountant. Don't do that. So I don't like Ketu in 2nd house for this reason. It can cause a big mess in finances. Distinctly, the 2nd house works like this. 2nd house is where you save money. Ketu is making you not save money. All right?
Right.
Now some people will say it's better to have Ketu maybe in the house of giving money, 12th house. But you see, it's very good to pay your bills because if you don't pay your bills, you start getting problems, right? So you want nice planets who like to pay bills in the 12th house. Okay? I think the best planet in 12th in Rashi chart is Venus. In Navamsha, not so, but in Rashi, it is very nice. Okay? All right. Conversely, opposite 2nd house is 8th house. So if 2nd is Maranastan for Ketu, 8th house is Jiva Karakstan. The giver of moksha is now responsible for your karmas. This can be quite good, but the person will make some mistakes when they get up in the morning. When they're waking up, they'll be quite clumsy in the morning. They have to be careful. All right? These are the people who walk out of bed and walk into a wall. All right? Ketu in 8th house. But it's quite good for their karmas. They quickly expedite their karmas. Mm-hmm.
But yes. Why is it so that they are a little clumsy? Why you say so?
Ketu is clumsy, and the 8th house is the waking up time. You see, Lagna is when you are awake. But that which precedes your waking up time is 8th house. Okay? So you try this. If Saturn is in Lagna, for Gemini Lagna, the person has a lot of difficulties in getting up on time. Okay, I'll repeat it. Saturn in Lagna for Gemini Lagna. Lots of difficulties waking up on time. The reason? Because their 8th Lord, Saturn, has gone to the Lagna. Okay? And in Lagna, Saturn is very badly placed. So the 8th house is suffering. So the 8th house is suffering. The person never wakes up on time. Okay? Peculiar, right?
Right, yeah.
Yes. This won't happen if the person is born on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because then the Vara Lord, who has all the Agni, is with Saturn. Okay? Yes. Then the person wakes up quickly, fast, is alert, wakes up early in the morning. Conversely, this example, Gemini with Saturn in it, around 9, 10, 11, 12, they're waking up. That's when they're ready for their day. Even if they wake up at 8, they go to work at 6, they wake up, go to work at 8, by 10 or 11, they are awake. They're properly awake for work. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit troubling. Now, but Ketu is quite good for waking up in the morning, just that they make mistakes, a bit too fast. When they get efficient in this, they become like machines.
Mm-hmm.
General rules apply to other houses. 3rd house or 11th house, Ketu makes him very auspicious. Then, statement. Unless he lords a Kendra, this is unless, disclaimer. Being a malefic, Ketu should be debilitated in Kendra to give wealth.
Okay.
So people say, oh, Ketu is Nietzsche in my chart. I say, is he in Kendra? Is he? Is he? Is he? Because if he is, money time. All right? Money time.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So this happens to the dual lagnas, we say. Ketu in Gemini. Okay? It's great. Big money. But if he lords a Kendra, it's a problem. So this problem of Ketu lording a Kendra, right, is especially so for Taurus Lagna.
Okay.
Because you will lord the 7th house.
Right.
All right?
Right.
Yes. But he cannot be debilitated in the Kendra for Taurus Lagna. Unless he's in Lagna, then he's in Taurus. Okay? So Taurus Lagna, Ketu in Lagna is a big disturbance.
Oh, okay. That's an exception.
That's an exception. You see, it's unless he lords a Kendra. That's the disclaimer. Because a Kendra lord should never be debilitated in Kendra. Yeah. In fact, the reverse will be the case. Unless he lords a Kendra, being a malefic, he should be exalted in Dushtana to give wealth.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Yes. So we have these disclaimers. This principle applies to all planets. If they're malefic, this applies to all planets. All right? So the reverse is positive if they are Kendra lords. Okay? All right. Other house results. General things that I found. Lagna Ketu, mental aberration is possible. Fine-tune it from looking at other perspectives. May not be the case. Can be good at math, but there's some mental disturbance. If in 2nd, financial problems. But if they work with microprocessors, they'll become wealthy. Okay? In other words, let the machine handle your money, not yourself.
Or maybe put it in the bank and do the online transactions only.
You hope that's enough. You need something else to automate your work. Okay, your finances. Skill with precision instruments and timekeeping machines if Ketu is in 3rd house. This is a great benefit. This Ketu in 3rd. Conjoined property but many problems if Ketu is in 4th. They will have conjoined property but many problems. If Ketu is in 5th, mistakes and lack of vision. You don't want malefics in 5th. You lack vision. You don't want to you don't know what you want to do in your future. The 5th and 9th are quite pivotal when you read a chart for the first time for a person, because the 9th is their bhagya and the 5th is what their vision is. If they have neither bhagya nor vision, they will not do anything in life.
Right.
If Ketu is in 6th, the person will be pushed into menial jobs. They won't like it. They prefer to be self-employed because their jobs are very menial, headless.
Right.
If 7th house has Ketu, there's a risk of multiple marriages.
Okay.
Don't say it will happen. There's a risk. It can mean relationships before marriage. It can be relationship after marriage.
Right.
It can be 2 marriages, 3 marriages. But how this looks,
we have to play safe, VISTI, with all these gems.
I'm playing it very safe. But this is also how I think. Oh, this is how the Rashi looks. This and this potential list of things can happen. Da, 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 da. Now, then I minimize the list by going into, let's say, Navamsha. Oh, now the list became only one thing.
Yeah.
Without Varga, you cannot say anything. Okay?
No.
Yes. Thing is, Rashi is your experience. Your experience is definitely more than one partner, but do I know it's more than one marriage? I don't know. That depends on another
But
division.
what makes you say so? Is there some in the classical text that you are picking up from, or what's the source of this particular, or it's your assessment?
No, I know Sarvata Chintamani at the top of my head states this, Ketu in 7th house.
Okay.
This is collected from different places, okay?
Okay.
There are some texts, but also experience.
Right.
I have tried to take the texts, put it into practice, and then I've come up with some experience with the text, all right?
Right.
So I don't just say this is what I know.
If you go back and pick up the text, they will not match with these multiple marriages and stuff, because earlier times we never had this kind of a tradition. So maybe it is.
Not exactly. No. They will call it Bahustri Yoga. Ketu in 7th or Rahu in 7th, Bahustri Yoga.
Yes, exactly.
Then they will say the person has many marriages, can have more than one spouse, for example, or more than one wife was sometimes accommodated. All right.
Yes, the kings used to have this actually, these kind of earlier.
Yes, but we are being very kind by not explaining exactly how it works.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
Now, so the way it works, you have to make sure you check the Navamsha for marriages.
Sure.
And is it because somebody is divorcing? Well, is there only one marriage? If only one marriage, then all this talk is useless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Navamsha will tell me exactly. It could be boyfriends before marriage or girlfriends before marriage, right?
Right.
Yes. If Ketu is in 8th house, the person will be clumsy but spiritual.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll get up late, but he will be spiritual.
Spiritual, yes.
He or she.
Oh, Ketu in 8 may not make the person get up late. Ketu is an Agni Graha. He makes the person wake up early. But it's so early, the person is still foggy.
Okay.
All right, that's why they're clumsy.
Right.
Yes. So it's not late. This is early. Vayu Grahas, late. Take it easy. Agni Grahas, let's get up quickly. Time should not go away from us.
Right.
Ketu in 9th is quite brilliant. Very faithful. Right? Very faithful people. 10th, great worker. In 11th, very, very lucky. 100 mistakes. They benefit from each of them. They make 10, 20, 30 mistakes. People complain, oh, what a big mistake that was. And then it's like, but it benefited you in the end. How did that happen? All right. That's Ketu in 11th. Very lucky. Ketu in 12th, blessed by the Divine Mother. All right. Very nice combination. So general houses, Okay. Other stuff. All graha have 24 attributes. This is an expansion of the term guna. Okay. And one should learn this for each of the graha. So these are the 24 gunas of every planet. So when Parashara says that his 3rd chapter, in which he will speak of all the grahas, is called Graha Guna Swarupa Adhyaya. What he's hinting at is, when you learn this chapter, you must know all the gunas of a planet, and he's not talking about 3 gunas. He's not talking about at least 24. So these are all the different gunas. Okay. So we should know them for Ketu. So I'm going to take this slide, next one. I filled the list out with all the gunas for Ketu. All right. So what is his rupa or shape? He is skinny, he's tall, and he's gray. So I'm taking color also in this. Okay. He's rasa. What is his rasa? He doesn't have any rasa, no flavor. Okay, no taste. So that means he's tasteless. Okay, without taste, he's lacking taste. Some other grahas will have more taste, he will have none. What is his smell? It's very foul smell, because he hates the Prithvi Tattva. He keeps hitting the Prithvi Tattva very negatively. His sparsha, his touch, it's electric, like touching electricity, vibrating. His sankhya, this is his number is 7. His parimana is dimensions. So I thought maybe one of these meanings could be the dimensions he has in the form of objects. He likes to make 9-angled objects, 9-pointed stars, 9-angled, many angles. It could be, one of those iCube toys with many, many angles on it. That's Ketu. He likes that. His pritatva, his severity, how many is he? He can be singular, but I have noticed also that when Ketu gets involved, he can also create crowds. So I think this should maybe appropriately be used in the form of crowds. Okay? Because he's a Kita by nature, he's an insect, so he can create like ant hills, Ketu. So I believe maybe I should strike out this singular and create crowds, but it depends a bit on how we're using this context. His samyoga, his conjunction degree, I have thought this could mean. Samyoga could mean conjunction degree. Many of these can have multiple meanings. So I said, okay, 8 degrees is his conjunction degree. This we use, samyoga sputa.
Okay, yeah.
His vibhaga, what is his disjunction? Well, obviously I thought that meant beyond 8 degrees, but maybe I have to learn some more and see what this also could mean. Paratva is how far away he is. So I thought, well, in Jyotish, we need to know his distance in time. Okay? So he could be 8 months. Wait, Ketu is not 8 months. That's Rahu. I made a mistake. It's 3 months. Okay. So whether Ketu is indicating the time period when an event will happen, it'll happen after 3 months. This is used in Prashna.
Okay. If it's for the event you're talking about.
Yeah. So you're predicting an event. You want to know how far in the future it'll happen. So Ketu associate is 3 months.
Okay.
This should be corrected to 3. It's not 8.
Sure.
His aparatva, his proximity. So if he has to indicate how far away you're moving from your current place, Ketu will say stay in the same place. All right? Like Rahu will say go southwest, Jupiter will say go northeast, sun east, etc. Ketu says no, same place. We won't move anywhere. Okay? If anything, we'll go up in the mountains, he says. His gurutva, this is how much he weighs. He's quite light. He's not heavy. He's very light. His dravatva, his fluidity, it's quite polluted. So the water is getting polluted, like Ketu-Venus conjunction, the water is getting polluted, causing Rakta dosha. His viscidity, how solid is he? He breaks the solidity. This is when he with Mercury, he breaks it, broken. His sound, his shabda, is very loud, like a scream. Okay? Some people say that these are the sounds that are very loud, especially for dogs and such animals with sensitive hearing, where humans may not be able to hear the sound, but it's very loud for them. Okay? So there is an aspect to it that it's not audible to humans, but it is very loud for animals. Okay. His buddhi or jnana, that is his understanding or knowledge. It's all precision based. It's mathematics. It's ganita. His pleasure or sukha, what does he have pleasure from? Freedom and relief. Relief from something, when he has less responsibilities. What is his dukkha? How is he most pained? In bondage. Rahu is the opposite of this. He prefers bondage and hates freedom. Okay? When he does not have responsibility, he feels without meaning or the purpose. What is his desire? Ichcha, none, preferably none.
Okay.
What is his aversion? His dvesha, money. He hates money. His prayatna, what is his effort he puts in? He loves working. His effort is into his career. Okay? Not for the sake of money, but for the sake of a success. All right? He's actually trying to finish the work. That's why he wants to be relieved, you see? He's trying to finish the work. He doesn't like the work piling up. Finishing the work. His dharma is moksha. That is the merit or virtue he has. Relief and moksha. His adharma is rebirth. He was not supposed to do this.
Okay.
His samskara. What is his self-reproductive quality? So I've thought maybe this refers to his ability to create automation. So this can indicate small machines which keep repeating the same thing. All right? Yeah. It does the same thing on and on and on and on again. Nothing different from the previous. Continue doing repeating the same thing. Repetition.
Okay.
And with that, we conclude.
Why did this end? I guess
because now I have covered Ketu, I thought.
No, but it was awesome, Vishti. And Vishti, do you think we can take up a few questions of the viewers in this
Yes, please.
session only?
Yes, please. Let's do that.
Yeah, Amit Kumar had asked, what if Ketu is in the 10th house with benefics like Jupiter and Moon and no other affliction?
So he could be asking from a few perspectives. All right. So he could be asking me, is there a curse if Ketu is with Jupiter and Moon? Because Rahu will be aspecting Jupiter and Moon as well, and there'll be two malefics involved, both Ketu and Rahu. So I say, okay, well, unless one of Jupiter or Moon is in own sign or exaltation, then Jupiter will be the curse of a Brahmin from the last life. Okay?
Right.
Yes. So that's one thing he could be asking me. He could also be asking, what does it mean to have Ketu, Jupiter, and Moon in the 10th house? I say, congratulations. Because even if there's a curse, this person is going to be very successful in their career if they can find the right career.
Oh, is it?
All right?
Okay.
I'm only lacking some information here because I don't know what is his sign in the 10th house. Did he mention the sign or the lagna?
No, nothing is mentioned.
So if I knew the lagna, maybe I could tell that, where's Moon? Moon is in 10th. Maybe it was Kanya lagna and Ketu, Jupiter, Moon in the 10th house in Gemini. Then the 10th from Moon would be Jupiter, and Jupiter would be in the 10th. That means great success will be there in career. The person will also become famous for their work. They will most likely be getting fame because, number one, they're a very hard worker with Ketu in 10th. Number two, Jupiter in 10th makes the person benefit from the work of others. So somebody started some work, they did not finish it. He came in because of Jupiter and he did all the harvest of the work. Somebody did the farming, he did the harvest, Jupiter. Okay?
And it is getting Digbali also here, as you just mentioned. Ketu is getting Digbali.
I get a bit worried about the Moon over there, which means he sometimes gets restricted from working long hours. Moon is not a hard worker, so in the 10th house he's not so good for work. Moon and Venus, they're Jalagrahas, they like to be at home. So this person will not work very hard with Moon in the 10th house. I will say the person will work very hard because of Ketu. They will like to work long hours because of Ketu. They'll be very good at finishing other people's work because of Jupiter. But Moon over there keeps restricting them from finishing the work in one day. So here's a person who wants to work hard, but he cannot do it in one stretch.
How true is this, Visti, that when Ketu is, if you have completed, I will just ask about a further extension to this question only. It said that Ketu in the 10th means that you have done a lot in your previous life related to your workplace. And now this life, you're supposed to do something with your family affairs, with your home life. You have to quit the karma with the, home related issues. How true is that?
It's a bit too simplistic if we just read it from Ketu alone in the 10th. That I would have to read the person's Shastiyamsha first to be sure that is actually the case. What I will say is that everybody with Ketu in the 10th, they will be hard workers. They will be very, very hard workers. All right? What the person should focus on is not dependent on one singular graha. All right? Or let me voice this slightly differently. All right? It's not that it's always Ketu that indicates what is the karma they must do in this planet. Sometimes it's one singular Rahu. Sometimes it's the sun. Sometimes it's the moon. That depends on a different principle that we use to see what is the most important purpose of the person being in this planet. And that has something to do with the soul. So there's something to do with the Atma in that. Okay? And I don't want to speak on that topic, how to see that now.
That's perfectly fine. I respect that. Yes.
It's a deep topic. All right?
And
So, I'm just trying to say that one of the planets in the chart will be the soul graha. And that one, or Jata graha, I'm supposed to use the term, Jata, the birth graha. And this birth graha can be any of the Navagraha. And that will be the most important purpose for them being in this planet.
Right. Okay. Great. Can I take up another question? If you have time.
Yes,
okay.
please.
So Murli Raghavan is asking, we have learned that malefics in the 2nd and the 8th from Lagna affect your finances, right?
Yeah.
from the birth, from Arudha Lagna, I think AL he meant that only. And during Dasha, from the Atmakarak, you are giving up the Dhanabhava 2, 5, 9, 11. And if Ketu is in the Dhanabhava with the malefic and benefic influence, will it not? Will the native be native be wealthy? Doesn't this contradict the first principle? I don't know how to put this question.
I will answer clearly.
Yeah.
I'll answer very clearly. If a malefic is in Dhanabhava, that means any of the second or the fifth or the ninth or 11th, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it is very negative for the person's finances. It is.
Mm-hmm.
That includes if Ketu is in second house,
Mm-hmm.
all right? And it is negative to have Ketu in second house, whether or not money is in the bank, all right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, we also have something called Daridra Yoga formed, according to Jaimini, if nodes are along the 2nd, 8th axis, from either Lagna or Arudha, even Navamsha Lagna, even Karakamsha, he has a long list. Okay?
Right.
Now, this is the case that there is problems with finances, whether I take malefics in Dhanabhava or malefics in second house. This is still Dhanabhava, second house, right?
Mm-hmm.
This does not happen if a benefic associates. This is the thing. If a benefic associates, it will give wealth instead. So it is only Daridra Yoga if there are no benefics associated. The Daridra is removed by the benefics. These benefics that will give this dana will especially be Jupiter, Venus, or Mercury.
Okay.
Moon may not give the dana. But Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury will give the dana. Okay?
Okay.
This is more so in the second house, that moon is questionable. In the other houses, 5th, 9th, and 11th, moon will definitely give dana. Definitely.
Okay. Or is it? Okay.
So to answer clearly, the principle is, yes, if malefics alone, problem. If just one benefic, great.
Okay.
Then that one benefic will convert all the malefics into dana.
Oh, is it? Okay. Wow.
And then if you follow that benefic, you will convert it all into dana. So then you tell the person, remedy the benefic, and you'll make great money.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
He'll be happy. He'll be happy with this.
To give an example of this, Tula Lagna, Ketu in Lagna. All right? The person was advised to wear a gemstone to activate Ketu, and they became wealthy.
Oh, okay.
Because Ketu will lord second house.
Oh, wow. Yeah, exactly. Wow. Great.
So that, I believe, answers clearly that question.
Clearly. Yes. Yeah. Very well answered. That's VISTI LARSEN. So what do you expect? So coming to the next question, I think I'll take up 2 more. Nina is asking, I have Ketu in the 7th and he's right on money. She's talking about you. Yes. Marriage has always seemed like a bondage or a prison to me. Ever since I was a little girl, I never liked the idea of it. So she's not asking. She's not asking. Okay. She's just telling. Okay. So can you just shed some light on this? Whether why she's feeling so? Yeah.
Well, it's actually there are 2 things here that are necessary. Not everybody with Ketu in the 7th house has a dislike towards marriage. Not everybody. And that's because their lagneshas are different. Okay. So whether you accept something or not accept something depends on your lagna lord. All right. So Ketu in the 7th house, and it is giving a certain experience or a certain feeling of how relationships and marriage are supposed to be. That's what Ketu will do over there. And he's moksha karaka. So one thing you will notice, if Ketu is in the 7th, the person will, the circumstance that is there is that they don't define marriage as marriage unless they have a child. Wow. So if Ketu is in 7th, you will find, so let me give this is the base, the foundation, and then we'll work on the foundation from here. So Ketu in the 7th says, you are not married until you have a child from that marriage. Right. What do you think is going through the person's head? Until the child is born, I am free. Oh. They may not be loyal. Okay.
And now, you just said that in 7th house, it gives multiplicity to Maybe
That's
the
the problem.
process.
That is part of the problem, right? That the reason why Ketu in 7th can give multiple marriages is because unless the child comes to continue the lineage, how can I say that that marriage is being fulfilled? You see, they define marriage by the continuation of family. Now, this is not necessarily what Nina is asking, okay? Because all I have done is said, I know that Ketu is giving her reasons to think that maybe marriage is not marriage until children are in the picture.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So when you have Ketu in 7th, it's possible. The person may meet a partner, get married, and then no babies are there, and then they're like, okay, until there's a baby, I need not be loyal. They can go to another partner.
Right.
It can be a problem. Right. Now, Nina may not be having this circumstance because her Navamsha is different. But she can be reacting to that information that she's getting from that 7th house because her Lagna Lord may not like her 7th house.
Okay.
Some people will accept this idea and say, yes, we will take this path. Some people will say, no, I do not like this path. All right? So that yes, no, that machine which is saying yes or no, that computer which is saying 1 or 0 to that information, is her Lagna Lord. Her Lagna Lord may be in 2nd house. So from the 2nd, that she considered the 7th house enemy, and Ketu particularly enemy over there. Okay? If Shukra is the Lagna Lord in 4th house, 4th from Shukra does not like, the people don't like the 4th from Shukra. So therefore, if Ketu is over there, she will not like that. So this is something called Pachakadi Sambandha. All right? So the Sambandha of your Lagna Lord with your 7th house or 7th Lord can tell you whether you like the idea of marriage or not.
Okay. Got it.
That's the answer.
Yeah. No,
so it's not only due to Ketu.
Depends upon the Lagna also. She's just saying that Ketu is in the 7th. That's all she said.
Yeah, we know only part of the story. And the depth of the picture will come from the Lagna Lord, because that's all likes and dislikes. Okay.
This you have already replied. So I'll just speak a little bit about this question. 2nd, 4th, and 11th houses are obstacles to Ketu. We count it from Ketu's position from Lagna chart, or taking Ketu as Lagna.
Ketu as Lagna. Ketu as Lagna. Yes. Always Ketu as Lagna. That Ketu chakra is for Ketu as Lagna.
Yeah, there was one more question on the chakra. 1 second, I will just ask that also. I think that will be the last question because I will not take so much of your time. It says, do you consider Bhava Chakra while looking for Parivartanas? This is by Vaidyanathan Purushottam.
It's a bit complicated question because the okay, this is how it goes. Parivartana happens between grahas and rashis. Okay, so if I apply Bhava chart, it means I have already applied the Parivartana before calculating Bhava chart. So I will first apply the Parivartana, then when I need to, I'll read the Bhava chart. So now this can look a bit funny, all right? Because Bhava chart is a chart which shows our perception of things.
Right.
See, Rashi chart, Rashi chakra, that means forget Bhava, Sputas and all, is the reality. Okay? That's what God said. Kalpurusha, God said this is the create, this is the destiny. Right? And then we, with our brains, decided to carve out a new chart. Lagna, our brains, have decided, no, this what God has created is not right. Let me carve a new life out of myself. All right? What does that sound like? It's at first it sounds like we are slightly dysfunctional as human beings, but it can also mean this entire earth was given to all human beings, but I'm going to go to the municipality, buy this plot of land, register it in my name, and say this is mine, not the rest of the world's. Okay? Yeah. So that is what the Bhava chart is doing. It's carving out part of the planet to say it's our own. Now, when this happens, It can be that some planets get displaced from the original Kalpurusha. So by me explaining this, I'm explaining the whole philosophy of even using the Bhava chart and Bhava Madhyas and all. So let us say, like in my case, I have in my chart, I have a parivartana between Guru and Shukra. Okay? I am Vrishika Lagna, Scorpio. I have Guru in the 12th house in Tula and Shukra in 2nd house Dhanu. Okay. Now, if I have to apply the principles of parivartana, all right, then it will be, see, I have Buddha Yuti Guru in the 12th house. So now it's as if Buddha is Yuti Shukra after parivartana. Okay. But when then I'm going to say, Acha, it is like Buddha and Shukra Yuti. Now, so that means it's as if I have, okay, now this is getting a little bit confusing. So bear with me. Please bear with me. It's as if Buddha has gone and joined Shukra in the 2nd house and Guru is alone in 12th house now. I'm going to confuse many people with this information. All right? I understand that. Because although I said Guru and Shukra were in Parivartana, the Buddha was the one who moved signs. So, but either way, he is having, as if he's having yoga with Shukra. Now, if I apply the Bhava chart, my Buddha has moved to Lagna instead of 12th house. Okay? So now, my earlier prediction, it's as if Buddha and Shukra are having yoga, and in the Buddha Shukra yoga, it's as if the person is having lots of rajas in their life. Okay? Rajas is very high. Buddha Shukra is like rajas yoga. But in my Bhava chart, Buddha is not Yuti Shukra. So what is happening? My Buddha is Yuti Surya instead in the Bhava chart. So now all that rajas is being burnt by Surya. He's saying 0 rajas. Surya hates rajas. He will be burning the rajas. He burns it. That's how he combusts Buddha and Shukra so often, especially Buddha. So he's burning the rajas. So here's somebody where God has said, you will have lots of rajas in your behavior. Maybe you'll have very good taste for food. Rajas is always first in the taste for food, right? And I'm a person who although I'm vegetarian now, I've had very strong taste for food, and I was taught many ways to cook foods and prepare foods. You ask me about foods, I'm very interested in the topic.
Right.
Which spices, which tastes and everything. I'm very interested in the topic. But Surya has decided, okay, Visti, only vegetarian foods. All right? But who decided?
In Bhava chart, Sagittarius is there in the 2nd house.
In my Bhava chart, regardless of what we do calculation-wise, Buddha and Surya are together in my Lagna. So God has said high rajas. I have said, no, only vegetarian rajas.
Okay.
Or curtailing it somehow. I'm curtailing it with Surya. Okay? Like a type of self-punishment. Not only this type of rajas. All right? So that is where God is saying, here, look, here's everything. You know, living in Denmark. All right? Born in Kenya, great culinary experience. Living in Denmark, you know, also great options food-wise. But Bhava Chand said, okay, everybody in Denmark is like that. Everybody in Kenya is like that, but I believe I should be like this.
Yes.
Bhava Chand said, do this. Okay?
True.
So
I consider Bhava chart as a strong chart, you know, stronger. I also see Bhava chart even more.
It's not always stronger. It's not always. The power of the Bhava chart is your power of your mantras and desires and views to change what the world looks like.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And it may not always be for good purposes. Okay? Because
no,
when
but
you
once
are
we are reading from the Bhava chart, you mean to say that the readings are not correct if we put up the Bhava chart, because every time we put up the Bhava chart.
So just because Visti wants to be vegetarian doesn't mean that the world is vegetarian, right?
No.
Right. So if I have to read the chart, I have to read the world outside, correct? Because the person is just
first.
Because if you read the dasha from Bhava chart, it's me in my own head.
Okay.
Right? But if I read the dashas from the Kalpurusha, I can see everything that's happening around.
Right. That's true.
That's why the reading is better from there. But my views I am impressing my views on the planet. I am playing Rishi. I'm playing Rishi.
Okay.
When I use the Baba chart, I am playing God, actually. I'm playing God.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. You're
Okay.
playing God.
Okay.
So be careful when you use it, try not to
You're
focus on
changing
it.
my views also.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't
Conjunction
rely on the Baba
only.
chart for that reason. Because
Sorry?
I don't rely on the Baba chart for that reason, because it is not necessarily the reality the person experiences.
Okay. All
It is
right.
the reality they
I'll keep
wish
that
to.
in mind.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
And the more we do the Gayatri mantra, the more we perform the Gayatri mantra, we can be more we can understand reality better.
So you're talking about the reader or the one who's seeking reading?
Both. The astrologer can tell the reality better to the client, and the client will understand reality better if they perform mantra.
So both of us should be doing Gayatri chant, right? Great.
Yeah, everybody should.
I do that though. I also do Gayatri chant. But yes, I think I have not referred much Gayatri chant to my clients till now. So I think
It need not be that it is distinctly Gayatri. Like I don't give Gayatri, and I can't give. I have to ask, are you initiated into Gayatri? Do you have the Yajna Pavitra? If you don't, then I'll give another Gayatri. You see, Gayatri is not a mantra, it's a chandas. Okay?
Oh, okay.
When we say Om Bhur Bhuva Swa, etc., okay, that is the Savitur Gayatri, or after initiation, it's called Brahma Gayatri. All right?
Okay.
Yes. I don't have to tell that to the person. Any Gayatri. There's another Gayatri. Have you heard this Gayatri? Om Namo Narayanaya. That's Gayatri.
That's also Gayatri.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is also in Gayatri Chandas. So there are many mantras in Gayatri Chandas that the person can recite to make the Lagna strong. So any mantra which is in Gayatri Chandas, okay, it need not be Surya mantra, it need not be Aditya mantra, it can be any mantra in Gayatri Chandas. But we have to strengthen that person with Gayatri. Okay?
Oh, wow. Okay. Great. So we have done the we have done the conjunctions. Mr. Atul Singh is asking Sun, Mercury, Venus, Ketu in the first house in Virgo ascendant. So can you tell about the career? Of course, Gemini, of course, has all the for Virgo ascendant.
From what you said, I was wondering if they were in the Lagna or in the 10th.
No, they are in the 10th house of Virgo ascendant. So Gemini. In Gemini sign.
Yes. Gemini and Virgo ascendant. So can you tell me the planets again? Sun and Mercury?
Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Ketu.
Sun, Mercury, Venus, Ketu. So I'll make this list now. So it's in Gemini, right? So that means Mercury has become own sign. So Buddha is on top. He's the biggest, strongest planet over there in the 10th. And Ketu is Nietzsche in Gemini, I've said. So Ketu is at the bottom. He's the worst over there. All right? And then we had Sun and Venus, right? Now, neither of them have any special traits in Gemini. So I'll say Venus, the more benefic, is better than the Sun. The Sun is at the bottom of that. Excuse me, thank you. So I have a ranking now. Mercury on top, Venus second, Sun third, Ketu fourth. I do this with every conjunction.
And you take up planetary war also, if at all they are in planetary
war? Yes, very much so, very important. Absolutely, yes. Now, because of the order of these planets, from most benefic to most malefic.
Right.
Mercury is the most benefic because he's an own sign. Then Venus, because he's more benefic. Then Sun, more malefic. Ketu is worst because he's Nietzsche. Okay?
Right.
So now I take those oscillations. The saint blesses the sinner. So Buddha and Ketu are having yuti over there.
Okay. Wow.
So I'll make one list which says Buddha and Ketu is one group having yuti.
Wow.
Then I would say Shukra and Surya are the remnant having yuti. So this is a combination of two gangs. One is the Buddha Ketu gang, one is the Surya Shukra gang, and they're working in parallel in the 10th house. And they are competing with each other. All right?
Okay.
We are competing with each other. Now, what am I going to say? How does the person's career look? If the 10th Lord is Buddha, in its own sign with Ketu, and it's with Ketu, I'm supposed to say broken career. right? Broken bones yoga, broken career yoga. What does it mean? Many stops.
Okay.
Yeah. How can the person turn this into advantage? Their career must involve many projects.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you know what I'm lacking? Career is not defined only by your 10th from Lagna. I will explain what this yoga means for him, but I will explain why I'm lacking something. Without Chandra and the 10th from Chandra, I cannot see the continuity of his career.
Okay.
Okay? Because the 10th from the Chandra is the decider of where you will get food and also decider of profession. Truth be told, the 10th from Lagna only tells me how the person works.
Okay.
Yeah, not what the person works, not how much wealth is there from the work. All right? Okay.
Yep.
Now, a little bit more. So on the other hand, there's Shukra Surya Yoga. Now, Shukra Surya Yoga is like a Pitris Rudra Yoga, we call it. I know I'm very advanced, but the idea is this is not a nice yoga because these two are quite opposite each other.
Opposite.
You could argue that Surya is becoming Nietzsche by Shukra. All right. So maybe I'll call it Nietzsche Surya Yoga. All right.
Right.
All right. So these are the two groups. Now, because this is how they work, among the Simhasana Bhava, 10th house shows the availability of work.
Right.
Okay. Like when you go to the job, you are working in a certain way, and it also tells me how much work is available. Okay. Lagna is whether you want to work or not, and the 5th house is your colleagues at work. So these are 3 houses most important for career in the Rashi chart. So if I know that his 10th house is having a Buddha Ketu yoga on one hand, then he will see these many stops in his work, many stops, many broken, many parts, many portions of his work. And then I know that Surya Shukra is also there, all right, in the other group, which means that authority is constantly being, his ability to rise, to get authority, to get recognition is constantly being pulled down. Okay? Now, among these planets, very notably, Surya is the 12th lord for Kanya Lagna.
Right.
So I'm getting worried that this person may be suffering in their job because the people, the companies they work for keep getting into problems.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Right? Yes. Despite the person having great capacity for work due to Ketu in 10th, the person is having problems because that 12th lord, Surya, is in the 10th house. I also don't know if any of the planets are combust. That's relevant information. But the next thing I would do is, I will say, this person, once they get a job, once they get it, I cannot see whether they get. This I need the Chandra for. All right? Moon. But once they get a job, there is this problem with broken work. There is this problem with difficulty in rising. And there is an issue with availability of work in the job, which causes him to lose jobs when there. Okay? Without Chandra, I don't have the full context. Because Chandra will decide whether he keeps a job or not and how many transitions he has. But I can see there's a problem with every project he has to partake in because of these two groups, Buddha Ketu on one side, Surya Shukra on the other side.
Amazing. So the remedy could be that he should be taking up jobs where somebody from his place of birth or abroad, as we say, maybe a multinational company, if he joins, he can.
I know that may not do it from the 10th house from Lagna, but I will check that in 10th from Moon. Okay, like I said, I have a big issue because I don't have 10th from Moon.
Because of I mentioned because of the Lord of the 12th in the 10th gives that.
Yes, I understand, but I would not take that as granted without seeing.
That makes really sense.
Because the 10th from Moon will tell me where he goes for the job, how stable he is there, how much security he has in the job, things like that. Okay. But what I can say is this. There is definitely some issues pertaining to how this person is working and whether that person is allowed to finish work. All right? And this is fortunately not subjected to his colleagues, but it is somewhat subjected to the availability of work and his attitude towards work. Okay?
Right.
And I will say, given these combinations, I notice that it is as if Buddha is afflicted in the 10th house, in a curse. Now, there is something else here which is relevant regarding marriage for this person. He didn't ask, so I'm not saying. But I will say the person should perform Narayan mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya. He should do this for 3 years. Okay? Preferably Narayan Kavach should be performed in this regard. And if he does so for 10 malas a day for 3 years, he will overcome a curse which is related to his uncle in the last life, which is affecting him in his workplace, which is causing him lack of recognition and difficulty in getting the same appraisal that even his colleagues get. He also has an issue with challenges. He doesn't like challenges in his workplace, and he often shies away from them. He doesn't talk so much with his bosses. He works, and he's good and skilled at his work, but he's like the person in the booth working and not talking to his colleagues and work people. Such people have a problem because they're always passed over for promotions and higher opportunities in life.
Yeah. They're more like they are inspired of doing certain things, but they're not getting it.
The person who gets the promotion is the one who knows how to talk to the boss, not the person who knows how to do.
Absolutely.
The one who knows how to do the work sits in the booth and continues to do the work. Yes. Remedy, worship Narayan, he will get over this.
Sure. He must be watching this video, and I'm sure it will solve many problems of his. And Visti, I wanted to.
It's very limited information you gave me. I'm sorry, I have to point out. It's very limited. It's just one yoga template. There's so many things I don't know.
You know, in your videos, like underneath whatever the comments we are getting, they are all incomplete questions. If you really want to, then maybe you can go to Visti's Sri Garuda. Like he's teaching. He has a school where he's teaching things, and he has a forum also. So you can just ask those questions. I think they can channelize there and ask all the questions with complete information. And like I have a question. Like I'm actually into transits a lot. I'm really maybe obsessed, or maybe people want me to be focusing on transits often. So what I want to know is, like, if Ketu's, do you want to say something? One more video on Ketu in transit. Can you do that for me?
We can do that here now.
Yes, so I'll be sharing the next video on Ketu in transit. Thank you so much for agreeing upon that. Thanks to you.
My pleasure.